One of the movies I loved growing up and also outplayed was Beetlejuice. Not only that, but the cartoon as well. So to help bring in the new spooky season, I thought I'd review the complete animated series. So let's get started on my review of Beetlejuice the Animated Series. It's a lot better, right? Let's go. What's going on all my Flixers? This is JC, and I just finished watching the complete series of The Ghost with the Most, the animated series. See how careful I was there not to say it 3 times in this review? I'm gonna try to do my best not to, alright? Now, before I do get started with my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review, just in case you haven't seen the whole series yet. Also, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more cartoons that I'm reviewing just like this. So this new series of BJ the Animated Series stars Allison Court, Stephen Omet, Elizabeth Hanna, Roger Dunn, Tabitha St. Germain, Tara Strong, who has done some of my favorite voices in shows like Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats, Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, Batman the Animated Series, pretty much my whole entire childhood and more. The series follows the adventures of the Ghost with the Most and his best friend Lydia in the Netherworld and the Mortal World, which is the New England town of Peaceful Pines. As in the film, Lydia could summon BJ from the Netherworld or go there by calling his name 3 times. I remember watching this show as a kid when, of course, I got much older and the TV networks would play reruns when I would get home from school. At the time, I was too young to get all the references, funny moments, and even some of the similarities or differences between the cartoon and the movie. However, when I saw the film as I got older, I loved it just as much as the cartoon. I miss cartoon shows like this that had a movie that was based on or it was inspired by. Such shows like Jumanji, Buzz Lightyear Star Command, Tarzan, etc. Man, those were the days. But this animated version of Tim Burton's BJ premiered on ABC in 1989 and later moved to Fox, running until 1991. Tim Burton was directly involved as an executive producer, overseeing the transition from film to television. The show ran for 94 episodes and introduced many 80s and 90s children to the beloved characters of BJ and Lydia Dietz. Unlike the original film, which was known for its dark and edgy humor, the animated series took a more family-friendly approach. Despite this shift, it retained much of the original's gothic charm and supernatural elements, though adapted for a younger audience. Writers Patsy Cameron and Ted Anasty crafted the episodes. The series was known for its clever parodies of popular films and TV shows, which I appreciate. Each episode typically featured BJ and Lydia dealing with the various threats of misadventures while steering clear from the menacing sandworms. The show also expanded the Ghost with the Most universe by adding new villains and monsters. It remains a standout animated series that aligns well with Tim Burton's style, potentially serving as an excellent introduction to spooky, kid-friendly entertainment for today's audience. Especially as I went back and watched all the episodes to give you guys this review, I couldn't help but notice how underrated this show was. In fact, a lot of shows in the late 80s and 90s, mind you, this was all from back in the day when cartoon shows would show an episode, sometimes not just once a week, and this show was one of those that had so many episodes. Trust me, when you go and open up Tubi to watch this show, you'll see what I mean when you go into season 4. Whoa. But nonetheless, I miss when cartoons gave us an abundance of episodes per season from a show. I mean, now that I look back at it, we were eating good, especially as Tim Burton fans. The series broadened the Ghost with the Most universe by adding a variety of new villains, monsters, and adversaries for the main characters. Among these were Jack Laline, a skeleton with a penchant for falling apart, inspired by Jack LaLanne. Beetlejuice's neighbor, the monster across the street, a hairy cowboy-like creature accompanied by a fierce dog named Poopsie. And Fuzzo and Scuzzo the clown, who were among Beetlejuice's antagonists. Additionally, the show introduced Ginger, a tap-dancing spider, and Bury Me Not, further enriching the roster of quirky characters. Now, as far as the differences between the first film and the cartoon series, there are a few small differences. Lydia in the animated version is is the best friend of BJ, while the movie version attempts to force her to marry him in order to escape the afterlife. The location and home of the Dietzes slightly takes a different form and is different from the movie as well. Also, there is more satire in this cartoon series and references that make it all more entertaining as you watch. As far as the animation, Tim Burton, serving as an executive producer for the animated series, ensured that its distinctive art style remained true to his vision. The hand-drawn animation part preserves the gothic and supernatural elements of the original film, but adapts them in a way that is more accessible to younger viewers. It captures Burton's unique flair, blending dark, whimsical visuals with a family-friendly approach. A standout feature of the series is its integration of traditional 2D animation with early CGI. Now, unlike the sophisticated CGI we're familiar with now, the early computer-generated animation has a distinctive, jerky quality that invokes the feel of stop motion. Ironically, Burton would go on to film such stop-motion animation films like Corpse Bride. The CGI segments function as mock commercials aired on Netherworld television, often hosted by the character Bury Me Not. Although these segments were quite innovative for their time in the late 80s and early 90s, it's still interesting to see the blend and the shows that took inspiration after. As far as the voices, Stephen Omet, recognized for voicing Archangel and X-Men the animated series, yes, that's also a part of my childhood, lent his voice to BJ and does an amazing job of not mimicking Michael Keaton's version of the Ghost with the Most himself, but giving a different take on the growling voice. Allison Court, who portrayed Jubilee in the same X-Men series, voices Lydia Dietz and does a great job filling in for Winona Ryder's version of the character, offering a caring and innocent alternative opposite to the con man ghoul. Although we do hear many, and I mean it when I say many, more voices from the show, each villain or guest appearance of the week does not disappoint, as most of the leads even take on different characters to voice them as well. It's no wonder that it drew acclaim at the time and even tied with the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh for an outstanding animated program win at the Daytime Emmy Awards in 1990. Another great thing I will mention as well is that the score is done by Danny Elfman, yes, the legend himself, who provided the soundtrack for the series, which includes music from the movie and new music as well. The theme song is not only amazingly spooky, but also boasts one of the best theme intros of the 1990s, in my opinion, next to the superhero cartoons that were iconic. It also reminds me a little bit of the music from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, I mean, there shouldn't be no surprise because it was orchestrated by the same man himself. I mean, it's catchy and I promise it'll stick in your head for a while after watching a few episodes of this, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. With all that being said, you guys, I'm going to give BJ the Animated Series 4 flames out of 5 and a fire show rating.
It's good. It's good.
So although there were a lot of episodes in this cartoon series, and there are a lot of great ones, I cut it down to my top 7 for some of the standout episodes in this series that were my favorites and that were my recommendations. So this includes episode 8 of season 1, titled The Laugh of the Party, which is the Halloween episode with a reference to A Christmas Story. Episode 8 of season 2, titled Uncle BJ's Roadhouse, Scarecrow, the Son Dad Never Had. Episode 6 of season 3, titled The Prince of Rock and Roll. Episode 11 of season 4, titled Beauty and the Beetle, a reference to Beauty and the Beast. Episode 13 of season 4, titled Poe-Pourri, where Beetlejuice talks to Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, that's really in the episode. Episode 54 from season 4, titled The Chromosome, that is a play off of The Twilight Zone. And episode 52 of season 4, titled The Wizard of Ooze, a reference to The Wizard of Oz. But really, guys, I feel like every episode has something to offer, and it kept me entertained throughout. Alright guys, so have you seen any episodes from this animated series yet? If you have, let me know what you thought of this underrated show overall. Also, which episodes are your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what I should review next. And before I do go, you guys, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name's JC from JC Flicks, and until next time, I'm out.